good story to tell.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. All right, guys. Michael, Noah, the Messinas, super excited to
Mhm.
connect with you. It will be great if you can introduce yourselves and, tell us a little bit about yourselves for those who are watching today.
I'm Noah. I've played soccer all my life pretty much. I try to do the best in like whatever I do, like whether it's school, soccer. I like to keep good relationships with my friends, but also like to balance it with hard work. And in soccer, I just want to have fun and play at the highest level I can for as long as I can.
Awesome. Noah, how old are you? What position do you play and what team are you currently at the moment?
I'm 17. I play striker, winger, pretty much everything I can play besides CDM and center back pretty well. And I'm currently on Seacoast United team.
Amazing. Amazing. Michael, it'd be good
Hmm.
to hear a little bit about yourself.
Oh yeah, so I'm dad. Noah is our second child. We have four kids. I've been coaching soccer and other sports, but mostly soccer or football, as you would say, for over 25 years. I'm also an
Amazing.
educator, and I've started segueing into sports social work and sports psychology over the past few years, and trying to, work with student athletes and develop programs and to enhance the mental health and well-being of athletes, similar to what you guys are doing.
Mm.
But realized through my training that I'm not the best person to work with Noah on this stuff, even though we do. But as a dad, our relationship is sacred, between a son and a father. And so, we definitely talk a lot of soccer, but it's better for him to work with you guys. So I'm really happy that he's been talking about this, and really I can hear the way he talks and the way he thinks about things more strategically now.
Mm.
And I've definitely seen a lot of maturity and progress and I think the program is a big part of it.
Amazing. Amazing. So I'm aware of this. You was actually Noah's coach, right? Tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about that.
Oh wow. So I think that when I was coaching Noah when I was younger, I think I was probably a different. We were both different people. I might have been a little bit hard on him sometimes, but I think we always talked about it, and I try to bring it back to life and life lessons. And that's the one thing I've been saying for a long time, that that soccer's a tool to. It's great to play,
Yeah,
and it's also a tool for life.
right.
So I try to use it really to this day as a tool to connect with Noah.
Okay.
Um, but coaching your child, I don't know if you've done that before, but it's hard. I'm not the most, and I've seen other parents do it, and I could say I'm one of the least biased dad coaches ever met, because I've seen some really crazy. I hold him to probably a standard that's higher than the other players, because I don't want to seem like I'm favoriting him.
Yeah,
So yeah, so we've kind of. I'm not really coaching him as much, but we just talk about, I don't know, a lot of different stuff now. I don't know how
right.
hard that was for Noah growing up, me being his coach, but
Okay, cool. Well, based on your professional background, it's clear to see that you understand the importance of psychology, performance mindset, and things like that. So it'll be interesting for you to share what made you actually decide to join the 1% Club program.
I think that Noah had a lot of stuff outside of soccer that affected him. I think his sister has a severe intellectual disability, and growing up, soccer was Noah's escape. And I really wanted to foster that, because it was really stressful and unpredictable sometimes with his sister.
Yeah.
And so I think some of that anxiety over the years has, maybe he was predispositioned for it. I'm not sure, but there's definitely some stuff there.
Okay.
And then I thought that he needed help beyond me, and he needed something not just like straight up therapy, something related to soccer because he loves it so much.
Right.
I'd also say there was not as much now because I don't really let my anxiety get the better of me on the field
Yeah.
anymore. Maybe for like a moment, but I quickly recover. But when I was younger, I would do very good, and I tended to do very good in games. And sometimes like my peers and like other parents like saw me playing and saw like, and there was a lot of like very high expectations of me that were pretty much like impossible to achieve, really. And
Okay.
it kind of affected me when
Right.
I couldn't, or even when I did, like it kind of took my focus away from just playing to enjoy and like for myself.
Mm. Okay. Okay. So would you say that was sort of the main challenges you were facing before joining the program?
Yeah, and that and like the bad injuries too that threw me off.
Okay. Dad, anything around maybe Noah's the main sort of challenges was facing before joining the 1% Club program?
I think he's gone through a ton. I think one of the things we talk about, and we still, and I would encourage you guys to talk about with him, is his identity foreclosure. You know, every player in the world has to stop playing at some point. And
Yeah.
Noah started to think about this, but this kid really loves the game,
Yeah.
and and so thinking about what that looks like after is one of the things I think I want him to look at. But this kid's gone through a really rough time the last couple of years. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. He
Yeah.
had expectations. We live in a very affluent, competitive, mean community. They
Right.
tear, they like to tear people down that are on top.
Okay.
He got pulled down. He got encouraged to play injured by his first team when he was a sophomore. That led to
Yeah.
his injury. They didn't care. I mean, of course, Noah, I try to guide him in the right way, and I'm not going to recap it, but that happened. And then last year, I mean, this kid like just played his butt off. They put him up at striker, and he's really small for a striker, but like he took such a beating. He broke his face. He got another injury to his hip, and just like no appreciation. And then at the end of the season, they just didn't recognize him or they appreciate him. And really, playing high school soccer in America is a really awful soccer experience. Just think of the worst possible. It's like having like really good players with kids that barely play. And
It's like in Sunday League where that team's just trying to like constantly target that one player and like the
Yeah.
teammates like wouldn't have his back. It's like basically like that.
yeah.
Mm.
And then on the top of it, there was a coaching change. One of the coaches I thought, so there's all sorts of town biases and all this
Yeah.
crap. And
Yeah.
one of the coaches, he's the JV coach, and he's trying to get the varsity coach out of there. And I feel like he's kind of pulling strings from behind. All of a sudden, he becomes the coach and has this party or get together. Doesn't tell anyone what it's about, and they vote for captain. He's the only player that's been playing for as a sophomore and the longest guy on the team that's been there forever. I'm not
Yeah.
just saying he's above and beyond skill level. Like he doesn't even belong on the.
This
I
the
regret
I will
having him on the team.
I will say this like the skill level like on my club. There's definitely like some players who like are around the same level, even maybe a couple who I think are currently better than me, especially coming off injury.
Yeah.
But like on that team, there's like the levels like it's way different. It's
Yeah.
It's lower. It's dangerous. I didn't realize how bad it was, and then they didn't vote for him for captain. It turned it. He basically said, "Well, I might be taking over as coach," which is not true because we don't even know. They voted for captain, and he wasn't voted for captain, which is whatever. It's fine, but it was just
Yeah.
all the, he wasn't. He didn't get any awards. I mean, the thing that really said it to me, all those he came back. He broke a bone in his face. A kid elbowed him in the face. He went to the
Right.
emergency room. came back, didn't have to. His team, he scored. He pretty much created most of the goals in the whole team the whole year.
More than half.
And he draws 2 penalties. He draws a penalty shot. He inspired his team, and the coach doesn't even give him the penalty shot, and he's the striker. He gave it to his son.
Right.
So, I mean, this kid's been dealing with a lot, and I am strongly encouraging him not to play high school soccer. His club coach doesn't want him to play.
Yeah.
He's got to focus on you know this. There's a new team and a new MLS next tier.
Yeah, the goal, essentially the goal next year, and the goal for next season is for me to make MLS next. That's there's 2 MLS next, and the goal essentially next season is to make the club that I have, they have MLS next to and NAL. That's the goal to make.
Which you will. I have no doubt about that. You know,
He's on his way, and honestly, at the end of the day, like I'm trying. Like I just gave you a lot of information you probably didn't have. Maybe you had some of it.
yeah,
And because I didn't want to harp. I wanted you to talk with Noah and go through all this stuff for a while first before I told you all that stuff, and let him share what he's comfortable with. We're
yeah,
at a point now where we're over it now, but it was an emotional scar,
Yeah,
I can
emotional.
imagine.
I've already decided that like I'm not gonna play on that team next year for like my well being and just like future and like
Definitely not. But yeah, I can imagine there's been a lot of challenges that you've been facing before the program and things like that. So
Yeah.
my question is, so how would you say the 1% Club program has helped you? What has stood out to you? Especially, we'll start with yourself, Dad, and then we can transition to Noah. What has stood out to you about the way
Okay.
the program is run, and how has it
Yeah.
sort of supported Noah?
So I think one, the psychoeducation has been very good. He's turned into a student of it. I've tried to work with him on that, and Dad doesn't have as much credibility as you guys because you guys are the pros, and so I think having that professional coaches and people that have been through it
Yeah,
that play at the highest level and that understand it, it
yeah,
helps. It helps with engagement.
right,
I think Noah has learned how to find out. He's learned a lot about not all of them, but I would say he's really discovered a lot of his anxiety triggers,
right,
and he can talk himself down and keep himself calm. I
yeah,
mean, one day I came in the house and I was like kind of erratic about something.
yeah,
Yes, I do it. Probably I can talk a kid off a panic attack. I can do a suicide assessment, but if I come home, it's a different story. Anyway, he talked me down, like he was like, hey, like, like he basically like I can't remember exactly the conversation, but I walked away thinking, I'm like, holy shit, he just he just talked me down. He just calmed me down. He clearly de-escalated the situation. I'm like, he's learning something.
yeah,
And in the car, just on the way home, I said we talked a little bit of tactics, and I was like, hey, on the wing, when the guy's at the top of the box, have you ever thought of doing an underlap or whatever?
yeah,
And he's like, yeah. He's like, but the thing is, Dad, and he pointed out, he's like, there's too many players in the box, and I should be there because I'm going to be on a good team one day, and they're going to drop it back, and I'm going to cross it in. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I even brought up. So
I'm
like,
sorry.
yeah. So when he was younger, he might have got like all like a little bit more anxious, but like he was able to like just collect his thoughts. His
Right,
composure on the field is
yeah,
better. So and I think in the home life he's good.
Definitely. I used to panic near the goal, get all scared, and like
yeah,
this weekend I went through a couple defenders, and like I knew the keeper had my ankle cut off. I tried to roll the keeper, and I would
Oh,
never have done that
he
before.
he had him. He had him, and
And he grabbed my foot. The ref was awful that game. He even untied my shoelace on my cleat. He didn't call
no
it.
way. Was it? They didn't call it for a pen?
He
no,
grabbed. We have the footage too. He grabbed
no,
my
we
foot.
we live in the wrong country, Perry. We live
Oh
in the
my
like
goodness.
American soccer is for men is so inconsistent and it's so
Oh,
sad. It's yeah. We cherish every
frustrating.
good game and every good practice we have. We cherish it.
Frustrating. But it's good to hear, more composed on the field. Would you
Hmm.
say that that is attributable to, some of the things that he's doing within the program, the sessions and stuff?
I I think so. I think so. Yeah, and I think also the timing of the program
Yeah.
that he's taking it has been good. So
Yes.
it's been very good that he's in a way, not that he got injured, but this kid had two major injuries that would have
Yeah.
I wouldn't have come back. Most
Yeah.
kids I know his age wouldn't have come back.
Yeah.
And to do this program with the injury, he really needed it. He's like he hit rock bottom and he's like pulling himself out, but he's building it in a positive way. He's
Mm,
really recognizing, I think, anxiety and what it does. And we
right.
we we talk a lot about. I'm a huge Pippa Grange fan. Like
Okay.
my practice is all about winning deep, and
Yeah.
and not. Basically, I try to tell them don't focus on the results because then you won't get the results. So
Yes.
it's kind of a tricky thing, but it's like the more you focus on the results, the less likely you are to get it. It's like
Yeah.
just enjoy it, focus on the
Yeah.
play in front of you,
That's right.
next play.
That's right.
Yeah. And so he's got it now. He's like and like just the way like so I think he's yeah, I think that I can't say that exactly how it's helped, but I think that his thought process is different.
Yeah.
Um Approach off the field is different.
Yeah.
So I think it's been really helpful. And even the other day when he was like, I don't know, like I got another injury and it was really down in the dumps. And I was like, no matter what, you're sticking with the sports psych program because it's helping you.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
he
Amazing.
won't give up though. He's gonna chase his dreams and we're gonna support him. And
Absolutely. We're in your
he's
corner.
taking ownership.
Yeah. Brilliant. Brilliant stuff. So, Noah, be good to hear from you. How has the program been for you?
It's been a really good and positive experience. I think it's given me like a lot of ideas and like information to like rewire my brain in a more healthy way. And
Right.
it's also just like it's given me like a lot of like ideas and like information that have like led me to self-reflection on myself, and like
Okay.
I've discovered things during the meeting and I've discovered things like just after the meeting, just thinking to myself just like about like the type of person I want to be and how I can deal with like adversity better.
Yeah.
And I think it's like when I'm on the field now, like this is how it affects me just on the field or in life. Like I
Yeah.
don't like if something goes wrong or one mistake, like I'm still composed and like I'm still
Yeah.
like I still know like oh I can get that A on the test to bring my like course grade up, or like I
Yeah.
could get that goal. Like that even today it happened on the field. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't my best game. Like my team was playing terrible, or
Right.
worst we've ever played, and I just knew like it was 1-0, but we were gonna dominate. And I knew like just stay in it, and then
Yeah.
I made the play that caught the and I scored in it.
Amazing.
That wasn't due to like technique or anything. Like it was due to it that helped, and I needed that. But it started in the mind, just like
Started in
staying with
mind.
it, staying composed. Like, and I did breathing strategies too before I took the penalty kick.
Yeah.
I did some breathing and it helped me focus and calm down.
Yeah. Some of the things that
I
you
learned that
discussed
here.
with
I
Coach
learned it.
Casper, right?
Mhm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I did
carry
see
on.
him do it. I saw him breathing and I was like, because we did talk about some of the times he takes a free kick and he rushes it, but I saw him breathing and just kind of doing his thing. And I tell you, he toasted this kid in the box, and the kid just
He just it was like I got the cross from the winger. I like slowed down, and you know when you kind of like see him like just like pause and like for a second, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
I went to the right and like and then I thought I didn't know what hit me. Like I was just on the ground and because like he just swiped my legs out and
Yeah.
it was
That's
yeah,
what
he
I
had no
love to
choice.
hear. I love to hear that. Okay, cool. So you would say that there's been an improvement in self-assurance and self-confidence,
yeah
especially
more secure in my abilities, and I know what I can and can't do too, which like
right.
helps me. Like I don't overwork myself as much. Like I take care of myself more.
Yes. Amazing. Yes, I love to hear that. Brilliant. Brilliant. So, Noah, would you say that was there like any aha moments for you during, you know, maybe one of the sessions where you felt like, oh, that is something really valuable that I'm gonna implement? You know, did you experience like an epiphany or anything like that?
I think it was so one thing you said that stuck out to me that like practice was like it's literally like it's all just preparation like solely for like how you're gonna do on match day. That stood out
Yes.
to me for the recovery stuff. And
Yes.
then I forget if it was you or Coach Casper, but we we were talking about like we were talking about how it's okay to like have negative thoughts and
Right.
to like acknowledge them, but like don't let them control you.
Right. Right. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Cool. So what has this growth meant to you? The growth that you've seen in Noah, what does it mean to you? How has it maybe impacted you and your
Mm.
family as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's been a stabilizing,
Okay.
because it was a really emotional year. It was
Right.
one injury after another, and then people shitting all over him, and the kid was just getting kicked while he was down, you know.
Yeah.
And we're a very loving house, but we have also high expectations. So to see him bounce back and to learn how
Yeah.
to face adversity and not give up,
Yeah.
um, and have to talk through it, not
Yeah.
just to do it, but like to really think about the process is so valuable because this isn't about, this has never been about soccer, though I'd love to see him do well. This is about life. And,
Yes.
soccer's the things that he's learned in soccer. I'm not sure he realizes how many of these skills that are going to come in handy in
Yeah.
life. So I think it just enhanced it really. So
Right.
in the house, he's definitely calmer. I ask him to do something, like he's more responsive.
Okay.
Um, less. I think his anxiety has come way down.
Amazing.
Um, like generally, he's like way less anxious.
Okay.
He's still hard on himself, but like he's working on that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, I think this growth has been great, and we needed some help, um, like I
Right.
said, so it's been great.
Amazing, amazing. And it's it's not done, you know. The person Noah is today isn't the person that he's gonna be in 3 months' time, 6 months' time.
Right.
You know, it's
Yeah,
a journey, right? And it's a journey where he's gonna be continually progressing and making improvements, which I'm excited
yep,
to see, you know. So
yep.
amazing, amazing.
Mom, do you want to
Michael,
come say hi real quick? Mom just got here. Mom is
okay,
is
cool.
mom. She can just say a quick hi. Mom is like biggest fan, and she got the MVP yesterday because it was her idea to go get the toe drained. They
Oh,
just,
okay.
and so he wasn't gonna play, and then they're like, she broke her toe running or something, and she said you should just go to the medical. Just go. Come
Yeah.
say hi. This is Coach Perry.
Hello, how are you? Great to finally meet you.
Oh,
Awesome.
great work with him. Thank you.
Most welcome. Most welcome. It's our pleasure. You've got a great boy on your hands, and he's destined for greatness for sure. I love his
Yeah, I feel
attitude.
it. He
Yes.
came out that way. We don't take too much credit, but we try.
Yeah,
And as a matter of
He
fact,
came out that way.
as a matter of fact, he looks a lot like you.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah,
Everyone says him, but I'll
I
take some
think so.
credit for that.
Yeah, I see some resemblance there.
yep.
Lucky you.
But yeah, I think definitely you guys have done a great job with Noah. So I definitely commend you guys for the work. Amazing stuff.
Thank you for that.
Amazing stuff.
Wonderful.
And I'm happy and I'm happy for the fact that we are an extension of the work that you're doing with Noah at home. You know, we are just complementing the already amazing work that you're doing with Noah at home. So definitely happy to be part of the team.
I love it. I love it. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome.
Well,
All
I'll
right.
let you get back to it. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Mum. Okay, cool. Michael, last couple of questions. What would you say to another parent thinking about enrolling their child on the program?
I would say that anything that can help the mental health and well-being of your child is worthwhile.
Right.
It's worthwhile to regard whatever program it is. I think it helps if they really love soccer,
Right.
obviously. But I think that's every parent has to make that decision. And regardless of where they go with soccer, one day it's going to end. And, sometimes it's just good to reflect and process
Yes.
and think about life and where you are and talk to people that have been there that aren't your
Yeah.
parents, because, I can't have those same kind of conversations. Like I said, is no matter what parent you are, you could be messy, and like he's not going to be able to talk to his own kid the same way a
Yeah.
therapist or a sports psych would. So
Yeah.
I think it's really valuable. But I am biased because I'm a social worker, soon to be sports social worker.
Yeah.
And Noah's a tough customer because he's one of, I'd say, these clients, and I don't know if you've had this, but when you have a super smart client
Yeah.
who's also very dedicated, you got to
Yeah.
tread carefully because you can lose them quick. And if you're
Yeah.
not like on your game, and so
Yeah.
the fact that you're able to keep his attention and impress him at the same time, because he'll catch me right away. He'll be like, "Yeah, that doesn't sound right." So
He's
yeah, I
smart.
would I would recommend it to any parent like that, any kind of social emotional well-being kind of program, especially if they like Noah, like really are passionate about soccer and they can use it as a tool.
Yeah. Absolutely. And it's not just soccer, but it can benefit in so many different sports
Mhm.
realms as well, isn't it?
Oh yeah, you could definitely take that model. It doesn't matter what the sport is, whatever you're
Yeah.
performing at. I mean, as you know, performance anxiety it's all social. And
Yeah.
it's what your result mean, it's what it means to other people, like your parents, like society. That's where
Yeah.
the pressure comes from. And
Yeah.
so it's really, to me, an opportunity to reflect and do some self-discovery, which
Yeah.
a lot of kids in the world don't have that opportunity, and they're just bombarded with bullshit all day
Yeah.
on media and stuff. And that's why we see the rise in mental health illness. So just having another trusted adult to talk to,
Yeah.
worthwhile. Absolutely. That actually knows what the hell they're talking about, who's
Mm.
compassionate, who's not like, oh, like you just gotta go and be the best and all that bull crap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
no, you're talking about,
Real
you have
stuff.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're a coach, you're doing sports psych. You didn't have to start this thing. Like
Yeah.
you could have done a bunch of other things, I'm sure. So
Right.
so it means something to you, and like you're also a coach and a player. So I think that that's another engagement tool that is not easy to replicate.
Yeah. Absolutely. And something we're passionate about is bringing about lasting transformation in the lives of young individuals because we're creating the next generation of leaders, right?
Hmm.
Leaders who will then become agents of change, right? Think
Yeah.
about how many people will be inspired and influenced by Noah's exemplary character and his discipline
Hmm.
that he's learning, the attitude and all of this great stuff.
Hmm.
And Greatness Academy, where does the name derive from? It's from the word greatness, which essentially means achieving a high level of excellence, impact, and influence that inspires others. So
Yeah, I love it.
It's
Yeah.
been great.
I'm a fan.
Noah, be good to hear from you. What would you say to a player that is maybe having challenges with, their mental performance and things like that? What would you say to them about the program?
Well, if you're having trouble like mentally with performances, and like if that's affecting you on the field and just in life, like the first thing is that you need a change and new information, new like methods to like face adversity, and like these guys like Coach Casper, Coach Perry, like they know what they're doing, and they don't only know like the like soccer, like tactically, they know the mind and like how to get the best out of people.
Amazing. Amazing. Okay, cool. Dad, last question to you. So would you say it is worth the investment?
Yeah, I was already on board. I was already, to be honest with you, I was already looking for programs outside of sports for him,
Okay.
for his anxiety. And then when I stumbled upon you all, I was like, and I did, of course, I looked at your model and I made sure you guys were legit.
Yeah,
I said, okay, these guys have a good framework.
yeah,
They're also professionals. And so, I think it's worth the money, of course. You know, like I said, I was going to invest in something for him anyway. We've been talking about investing in something for his mental health for a long time. So I feel like this has been a good program for him.
amazing, amazing. No, happy to hear that, and like I said, it's only the beginning of the journey because
Mm-hmm.
Noah's learning things that will remain with him for the rest of his life. So I'm
Yeah,
excited for Noah's future. I'm excited for the person he's gonna become. And thank you for putting your trust in us to be in Noah's corner and support him in helping him evolve into the greatest and strongest version of himself. So it's been great. Awesome stuff.
absolutely. Yeah, we
Brilliant.
have. I mean, I know he has a decent amount of sessions left. Too, I think. I'm not sure how many, but I haven't been keeping track. But I encourage Noah when things come up. I've been trying to encourage him to bring it up with all of you guys,
Yeah.
so you can process
Please
it.
do.
Talk about it. Um, Anything that troubles you outside of the field comes onto the field,
Yeah,
and
that's
you,
true.
it's you can talk about those things. I mean,
Yeah.
for him, it comes back to soccer most of the time anyway. Um, but anyway, so I've been trying to encourage him to have more conversations with you guys.
Yeah. Noah, please do, man. Always feel free. We're family.